to Boxing Block Center, the home of Nigerian Football Boxing. Please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like and, of course, the subscribe button right now. And also go to the notification bell icon, click it, and select all so to when you bang a new exclusivity. You will definitely be notified. We are live right now, and if you can hear me, you can as well comment on the live chat and interact with us, the people. We are the ones giving you guys, the new updates, and of course discussing such subjects that interest a lot of people, because this is a big news right here. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder has stated that he would love to fight Anthony Joshua in Africa and to find out who is the new number one heavyweight man. I mean, it's not champion because we know that Fury holds the WBC belt. Usyk holds the rest. WBA, WBO, IBF, and of course, but Wilder Joshua remains the I think one of the biggest fights in the division. In fact, in boxing, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Wilder versus Joshua would sell out. I think he would do more numbers than Fury. But let's get around here. I do want to give this quick take on this subject right here, and yeah, it will be interesting to see how this unfolds. Looks like our brother Adewale is not here yet. Let's go around here. Clement, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, my man? What's popping?
I want to ask you this question. Yeah, someone is saying, "Is this live?" Yeah, it is live. We are live right here, bro. I want to ask you this question: Is Wilder Joshua the biggest? Is Wilder Joshua bigger than Fury Usyk?
Mm. You know, as far as I'm concerned, at this stage of their careers, these guys seem to be bigger than the belts. They seem to be bigger than the belt, and it all depends on what boxing fans want to see. People want to see White, Fury, Usyk just for undisputed, not because they have any history or there's any intrigue on the fights. So based on that, I would say Fury Joshua is gonna do more commercially than Usyk Fury.
Me Fury Wilder.
Sorry, Joshua
Wilder.
Wilder
Yeah.
gonna do more. Because there's been a lot of back and forth and all that between these guys, and fans want to see that fight, win, lose or draw. They've seen Fury, they've seen wider Fury, and they want to see Joshua Wilder, because these guys were part of the three-headed monster. I want to see it. I want to see Joshua Fury. I want to see Joshua Wilder. You see that fight. At the end of the day, it's a fight, and they're gonna make money. So bring it on. You know what I mean?
So, ideally, what would you like it to take place in Africa? A lot of people say it should take place in South Africa because I don't know, South Africa tends to there's a lot of sports, but they love boxing.
I'll never really be concerned about where a fight takes place. I don't know. I'm one of the few people who don't really care. So I
bro,
don't think
you
I'm the
don't
best
know the
person.
reason why Wilder wants to fight in Africa. You know that Ali and Joshua fought in Zaire, Congo, right? Then Rumble the Jungle, and he's still one of the most. Listen, when you talk about classic fights, people still use as I rewatched this fight just yesterday, the Ali George Foreman fight, in Zaire, Congo, bro, was massive. So you have to understand this is something historic. You know, for
I'm
you,
I'm I'm, I'm not.
you are just an average boxing fan that just want to see fight. You know,
Yeah,
but this
I
this
don't. I'm not.
this different.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not saying. Uh should I say I'm not really interested in going to the history? Yeah, it might have some historical significance, but I don't want to see a boxing ring and two guys who want to put on a show. Put on the show. You know, at the end of the day, all those are other things that are beside boxing or bringing the match to Africa. It's good for the continent. It's got, I don't know how good it is for the continent really. I just believe it's boxing. You know, go box and it's an animalistic sport. Is it? Is boxing is not bringing is not bringing development, science or anything. It's entertainment. So let's see.
Bro, boxing is not just entertainment, bro. Boxing is called the sweet science. You know why they call it the sweet science? What do you say about sweet entertainment?
Why is it?
Do you know? Do you know?
Sweet science simply means
Do you know
eat
why they call
without
it sweet
getting
science?
it. What?
Do you know
Of
what they
course,
call it
that's
sweet
what it
science?
means.
Bro,
Sweet science of boxing.
boxing is not just fighting. If you don't want to acknowledge the science in boxing, just say you don't want to acknowledge it. Like you see, like
So
listen,
what is what is
listen,
sweet science?
you are addressing boxing now as a street fight, like the one we have in Nigeria.
I'm not saying it's a strip.
This way,
Boxing
no,
is
no,
eat and
this
not
way,
get it.
you are addressing boxing like that now. You say, oh, you just fighting entertainment. Of course, entertainment, but it's
It's
different.
fighting. Fighting. What is boxing? What is fighting? A sport where people get hit or people get killed. What are you talking about, bro? It's fighting. It's eat and
So
not get it. That's what boxing is.
people don't die in football.
What in football? People,
Football, like American football, like
yeah,
even
bro.
even
Kai,
even even
you
even
can't be saying this. Boxing is the most savage sport. You're talking of combat sports, boxing, MMA. These are like these
bro.
are savage sports. So the
All sports are dangerous. It just depends on the capacity.
it's physical. You can't even be comparing boxing to soccer. There's no basis for comparison. If you're not fit, you can anybody people die in their normal work. I'm talking of a sport where your chances of sustaining serious injury, your chances of death is more. And because it's combat sports. You know, you can that's why that we tell you it's a sport you can kill somebody legally in the ring and nothing will happen. And that's just the truth. Whether
Bro,
you like
the
it.
facts
So
are
it's free science because
the facts
it's,
are
it's
the
only
facts
cause
are the facts are boxing is not about just you might say it's a savage sport. Yeah, it's savage sport. However, it's different. You know, there are techniques. It's not just like going into the ring and say let's throw punches and kill each other and
no, that
you score points. Okay, you
that's
score
a
points
that's a
in
fact that cannot be
boxing.
denied.
It
That's
depends
a
on
fact.
the fans if they want to see. A lot of fans don't want to see like pure boxing. They feel like come on, there's wasting. They feel they feel the is a time wasted. But I want to see pure boxing as well. I love
Yeah, that's what
knockouts.
I love.
I love
Even
seeing
before,
pure boxing. But that's why
maybe that's why.
that's why
Maybe
the likes of Floyd Mayweather is regarded as a legend. A living legend,
maybe
and
no. Maybe that's why I don't
in history books
gravitate too
forever.
much. I don't gravitate too much a wider style of boxing. I don't either want to see a Floyd Mayweather 100% style of boxing. I prefer to see a mix between the two.
So basically,
Some boxing, then you
listen.
not. Can I let me quickly finish what I'm saying, please. So I like to see some boxing, and if the knockout comes, it comes. So I love the sweet science of getting it and not getting it. But in the process, a knockout might occur because when you are eating someone, you are eating a human being, you're not eating rock. Which is so that's why I said it's a combat sport. It's meant to inflict damage, and that's what it says. Period. Because when we talk about it, somebody is getting it right.
But
So
the aim
it's
of
what it
boxing
is.
is not to inflict damage. Is to outbox outpoint your opponent. That's what it
In
aim.
what, in what,
That's what
in what
that's
manner?
what it,
So are
bro
you saying somebody
bro
is appointing boxing you, punching you in the face?
How did Flamingo became a boxing legend?
Who?
Flamingo.
I don't understand that question.
When people talk of Mayweather, what do they regard him as? Do they regard him as a knockout monster?
I'm not talking of
when you go to Mayweather fight, are you expecting? Listen, I'm asking right now. When you go to Mayweather fight, for example, what are you expecting? Do you expect to see like a knockout, or you expect to see them good throwing punches and stuff like that, or going to war?
I don't. That question is so funny. All depends.
It's not about funny. I'm asking right now. When you listen, let's keep it right here. People that attended Mike Tyson fight. Okay, they did it for one reason: to see knockouts, right? Yes or no?
What has that got to do with what is happening?
Bro,
your
listen,
opponent
you are turning boxing. You are turning boxing into just.
I'm not turning. I don't have prepared to turn anything into anything. It doesn't really matter. I'm asking you a question. The same way you're asking me a question. You go into a ring and your opponent is boxing. What you call boxing, throwing punches at you. Are you saying that it all depends on what you want to do or what the opponent wants to do? It's two people in the ring at the end of the day. So one wants to box, the other person. It's called the odd business, my brother. HURT. It's odd business. So when you are punching your opponent, whether you say it's boxing, not knockout, and your opponent is feeling it, you think he doesn't want to hit you back, or I don't really get it where you drive.
Bro, you don't get what I'm saying. The thing is that boxers it takes boxers years to master the craft of boxing, right? You know that.
Of course, it's a profession.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you right now. It's not just going in there and try to knock each other and see who.
I just told you just now that.
Bro, the way
that's
you
why I don't really
describe
it, because there's a reason why people say Whyte has no boxing skills. He's just looking to land the right hand. So I believe if I'm watching a boxing match, I should see some level of boxing, good movement, good punches, some boxing skills in display, not somebody trying to time somebody to knock him out, which anybody can do on the streets. And I said that is why I will prefer a blend of
the knockout, Wada's knockout, he does set it up.
What we are saying before we because we have digressed.
I think you have to give Wada credit, bro. Like Wada's knockout, he does.
So are you? Which lane are you? Are you talking of the boxing of that person?
Bro, I'm adding everything to you. You said that's why you don't gravitate.
I said I don't gravitate towards it 100%. What that means in English is I don't really fancy that style alone. Like
bro, I understand exactly what you mean, bro.
Yes, I will not be Whyte who is good at boxing and then knocking at his opponents, because sometimes knocking out, just looking for the knockouts won't help you out. Just like we see in the Fury fight. That's what I'm saying. So as much as it's good to see knockouts, it's good to see some boxing. As much as it's good to see some boxing, it's good to see knockouts sometimes, because when it's just boxing and boxing, some people tell you that they don't like Floyd Mayweather style. It's boring. Why do people say Klitschko Fury is boring? They don't like to watch it. They've not even watched it more than 2 times because it was just pure science. And I've recorded you say many times that you don't even you've not even watched that Fury Klitschko. Again, like you don't like it because it was a boring snooze fest. So
bro, that was not boxing. That was basically hugging, bro. Hugging heat, bro. Hugging. That was not really boxing.
There was punches were thrown.
Yeah, that was hugging heat, bro.
Everything. That's why I say that it's a fight. It's a fight because it's not one man that determines the outcome of such matchup. You might go into the ring trying to box. Your opponent is trying to get you out of there. So it's a mix of styles and all that. So the two men will determine.
Anyway, let's get back on track. Yeah. In regards to where you think the fight should happen in.
No, like I said, I'm not one person that sit down and begin to think where a fight should happen. Unless you are telling me there's a reason why the fight should happen there. Maybe you are saying, oh, if it happens on the other guy's home turf, you have some advantage. If it happens in why that's if you have in the US, why that we have some advantage. If you have in the UK, Joshua has some advantage. So let's go to a neutral ground. Yes, but aside from that, I'm not really keen. Yeah, I know Rumble in the Jungle and all that, but those that again was two African Americans going to what is considered their motherland. They're going back. So they were trying to sell it from that angle. They're going back to their ancestry. Let's take the fight to the motherland and fight. Yeah, which is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Trying to reignite or reconnect with their ancestry. And do boxing there. So besides that, I don't know. It's not really scored so much point to me. The most important thing, like I said, is two guys coming into a ring, wanting to fight, wanting to make either name for themselves or money for themselves. This is more about the money at the end of the day. So most of these boxers just want to make money and keep making money. So whatever it is, they are making money and the fans get entertained. So where that fight takes place, I it's not really much of a concern to me, to be honest. It can be in Nigeria, it can be in the US, it can be in London, it can be in Saudi Arabia, it can be anywhere in the world.
Bro,
I
I
truly,
don't know what to say, bro. I have to say that anyway. You and I were not the same. So basically, you see a different way. I see a different way. For me, this is historic, and I believe it should take place in Nigeria. I believe so. That's what I believe.
yeah, you can be correct. Like I said, most people, last I told you, I don't really go big, go try to say, oh, the fight should happen here, it should not happen here. As a boxing fan, I want to watch boxing. I'm not watching where the fight is happening. If I want to watch where the fight is happening, I will travel. I will buy a plane ticket and go to that place. So it's not really the same.
Yeah, man. Anyways, let's go to the next topic right here, which is Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte. Um, Whyte is back. Okay. Um, it has been announced that Whyte will be fighting Jameer Franklin. You know Jameer Franklin well because I think he's not that active in a way, but he's very dangerous. He's undefeated. Looking at his resume, you can see right here 21 victories, 14 via knockouts, and he's ranked 13 um in America as American in the American heavyweight ranking, and 54th in the globe, okay, in the world. And now the guy might be 6'2", okay, but I think White is 6'4", right? So, but he's undefeated, and I've seen a lot of his fights. He's got one slick uppercut. I think being vulnerable to the uppercut might be his downfall, in this fight. But I think let's say I feel White to win this fight only if he protects his chin well. What do you make of this fight? Right? It is a good fight, I must say, a very good fight.
Yeah, I've watched some highlights of Jeremy Franklin. He's an undefeated fighter. I think it's 21-0. But we all know that undefeated record means nothing because it all depends. So it all depends on who you're fighting. You might be 100 and knock out all 100 of your opponents until you fight somebody with some skills, and then you have found one thing. So, Jeremy Franklin has 21-0. undefeated fighter. It's not really a bad fight for Whyte. Although there are other fights he could have take. Joe Joyce fights, Frank Sanchez. I would even like to say Whyte and if Jagba, all those kind of fan, fantasy matchup, But I won't say this is a bad fight, considering the fact that he's just coming out from a knockout defeat. Whyte, all his losses are always knockout defeats. It's so funny. He was knocked out by Povetkin, which many people consider an old man. A man who many people say, oh, Joshua fought him while he was old. But the same man knocked out Dillian Whyte, and more recently by Tyson Fury. So when you're coming off from a knockout loss, this nature, it's good to it's good to try to go down some steps and try to get some some confidence, get some moral strength, psychological, build yourself back psychologically. So I don't think it's a bad matchup. It's good. It's a good matchup. And I've watched some highlights of Franklin. The guy seems to be aggressive, but I don't know against who. That's another question. The guy is an aggressive guy. Sneaks in some beautiful uppercut, like you said, and we know that it's Whyte kryptonite. I think anybody with an uppercut can knock Whyte out. It doesn't matter. If you can take you out and you have a very good uppercut, just time him and hit him with an uppercut. So that makes it 50-50 from that point because who knows? That guy can find room for his uppercuts and it's gonna be night Whyte. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Wardley, Fabio Wardley versus Nathan Gorrman. I also on the card in the co-main event. He'll be fighting for the vacant British heavyweight title. What do you make of this fight? Looking at the fact that Nathan Gorrman is way more experienced than Fabio Wardley. Wardley was just an underground fighter, like he was not a boxer, you know. so he took up he's new, he's very new to boxing, but he's been doing great so far. It's just that for how long? Do you think he beats Nathan Gorrman? The guy was very skillful and stuff like that. Even though we know he lost to Dubois, but he did well. I don't know if Fabio Wardley has that power like Dubois, to stop him. What do you think? What do you think? What Nathan Gorrman needs to do to win this fight?
Maybe what the English fighter. He's just 27-year-old. He has held the English title. Been in 14 fights. He's just coming up the rank. He's coming up the rank. It's like I say, he had the English title, and we can't sit down here and say he's exceptionally great. He's going to be the next Mike Tyson. Going to be he's a decent fighter. Nathan Gorrman had been doing his thing. There was a time he was very busy, and everybody was looking up to him as the new star. In fact, it was more between him and contest was more between him and Daniel Dubois, just as it was between Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. Daniel Dubois beat him and made his mark. Went high to bigger things. So what do I say? I can't say if I can't say sit here and say 100% Nathan Gorrman is going to beat him or he's going to win or Fabio Wardley will win. I think it's one of those fights you just wait to see because Nathan Gorrman, I don't rate him so highly. He's a good fighter, decent, but I don't rate him highly. I don't rate him highly. and he's been inactive for a while now. So it's going to be a good English scrap for those in the UK, and I wish both of them the best. But I would really love if these guys can, constantly we can constantly have this kind of matchup between up and coming boxers. To establish who is actually the best among them instead of them fighting no names. A lot of the time, if they can mix it up more frequently and move the pace higher, it's going to be good. You know, just like people like Rafael Akpejori, you just hear those guys. You don't really see them in a lot of competitive fights. And the years keep rolling by, and they just remain ready. I think these guys should just be mixing it up among themselves, and the best man standing be qualified to go fight higher. That's how I say it.
What do you also make of? I think Alan Babish is like I think he should be on this card. Why do you think he's not?
That has to do with promoters and managers and
No,
you only know what
Dillian Whyte is Alan Babish manager, bro. Alan Babish is very entertaining, bro.
like those are inner secrets you don't know. Maybe the guy is not prepared to fight. Maybe they don't think he should be fighting now. A lot of things going on. All those things are things you can just be guess working. You don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, so guys, you've heard it, and I want to say big ups to each and every one of you for coming through. But this guy right here says, Dan says, of course, Windmill won Joshua now. His losses is 0 and is tied to so. He has nothing to lose and wants that Joshua payday. I don't understand what you mean by one Joshua payday. Both of them will make a lot of money from this fight.
What do you say? I don't understand.
Dan says that Water wants Joshua fight now because he's lost his whole, his undefeated record, and he said that he has nothing to lose and wants that Joshua payday. He wants Joshua, what does he mean by that? Wanting Joshua payday? They are fighters, bro.
I don't know. All these fights were so difficult to make until Joshua lost. Like I said yesterday, everybody is not saying, "Oh, I want to fight, I want to fight." So that's why it's good for this guy to fight quality opposition. So that the last man standing keeps standing. Because when they are undefeated fighters, they would rather fight bombs to keep their O instead of mixing it up. So I think it's a good thing that they now have losses. If Fury takes a loss now, that his ego will come down a little, and we also try to mix it up more frequently. So yeah, I'm not about fighters taking a loss. I'm not about. I believe people. Muhammad Ali has losses on his record. George Foreman, Frazier, a lot of these guys we call the greats. But in this generation, we all act like taking a loss is a taboo. And we mock because people tend to mock fighters, tend to say that their stocks have gone down when they take a loss. That's why most of these fighters keep fighting bombs. So the fans enable these boxers to fight bombs. So they are guilty, if not more guilty than the fighter, because it's just a question of I support Wider. Let him keep knocking out anybody, and whether I can go to bed at night and sleep happy because Wider has knocked out the person, or Fury has knocked out the he should keep doing it. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him fight.
Adewale, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what's good, brother?
Yeah, your quick take on Let's hear your quick take on Deontay Wilder wanting to fight Anthony Joshua in Africa, and where do you think it should happen? Where do you think it should take place? In Africa.
Man, listen, that's such a great fight. I would have preferred that fight to happen where the both of them have their roots from, which is Nigeria. But there are many extenuating circumstances that might prevent that from happening. So if they can't provide security in Nigeria, that fight can happen anywhere else. Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. I don't care, man. But it'll be great if that fight happens in Africa.
So, Clement is saying that it doesn't really matter where they fight. It's just a fight. Do you think that is just a fight? I told him, I said, this is an historic fight. It's not just a fight. He said it's just a fight. It's a fight like the
Nah,
one.
man. No. This is a historic fight, man. Listen, the last time we had a golden era in the heavyweight division was in the 90s. And in the 90s, there weren't any heavyweight champions that were really, really connected to Africa. I mean, there were a lot of African American guys, but they did not really pursue their roots to the continent. But back then, when Muhammad Ali and George Foreman fought in Zaire, which is Congo, both guys had no connections to Africa. I mean, their roots are from Africa, but Ali he went above and beyond to connect with Africa, his ancestors. And that's one of the reasons why that fight happened in Africa. And that is one of the greatest heavyweight fights in the history of boxing. So now that we have another opportunity for guys that are willing to connect to the continent and they are great fighters of this era, why not? This is a fight that if it happens, regardless who wins, we're going to be talking about it for the next 30 years. So it's not just a fight if it happens in Africa. It's a great historical fight.
Thanks, brother. And your take on a Whyte Jermaine Franklin fight?
Okay, first and foremost, I don't like Dillian Whyte. I hope Jermaine Franklin beats his ass. But will that happen? I don't know. Franklin has not been tested himself. He's a shorter heavyweight. He's about 6'2". I've only watched one of his fights, to be honest, and I've seen some highlights. I need to educate myself more on Franklin. But Dillian Whyte's team, they have a reason for picking Franklin. They know that they can beat Franklin. Plus, they are taking him over to London, England. So my advice to Jermaine Franklin, make sure that those guys are well tested. Remember what they did to Oscar Rivas. They took Rivas to London, tested positive for Diana Ball, changed the gloves at the last minute without Oscar's awareness. So be careful dealing with Dillian Whyte. The guy is a very dirty fighter. He's not the greatest fighter, but he has what it takes to beat Jermaine Franklin. But at the same time, Dillian Whyte is chinny, so Franklin has what it takes to beat him. So that fight is a 50-50 in my opinion.
Nathan Gorrman and Fabio Wardley.
Okay, two European C-level fighters. Good fights, good
What do you
entertaining
mean by
fights for the
slow
UK
fighter?
fans.
Nathan Gorrman has been boxing since he was 5, bro. He was slow
Bro,
fighter.
the guy hasn't been able to achieve much. Each time he tries to step up to become European level,
Maybe it's the
he
Fury.
was defeated.
Maybe it's the Fury blood in him, bro. They're always like they are very inactive, bro.
Maybe, man, maybe. I remember this guy, Nathan Gorrman, beating my African brother from Ghana, Richard Lartey. And I was upset because Lartey should have beaten that guy because I don't consider Gorrman as a great fighter. But anyways, Gorrman did what he had to do, and I salute him for defeating Lartey. However, his fight against Fabio Wardley, we're going to watch it, but I'm not excited about it, if I'm telling you the truth.
What do you think about Alan Babish? Like, why isn't he on the card despite Dillian Whyte being his manager?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Is Babic still... I don't know, man. Like, bro, that is beyond me, man. Babic, in his last fight, he got dropped, I think, twice in that fight, or one time at least. And it seems like the hype behind him went down. But I still respect Babic because Babic is the kind of guy that he fights with all his heart and he wears his heart on his sleeve. But if he gets brutally knocked out, then he's going to be more humble. He'll be more realistic with the fight game and he wouldn't take it as a joke because boxing is no joke, man. But it's weird that he's not on the card. I wish him the best. These guys that are taking losses, For example, our brother Ife Ajagba. Why hasn't Ife Ajagba had very meaningful fights since the loss? You know, these guys that are, it's just unfortunate, man, the way boxing is set up. If you're not a big name and you take a loss, then it's very difficult for you to climb back to the top. So, Alan Babbage, good luck to him. I have no clue why he's not on the card. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, but Babbage is still undefeated, bro. What do you mean by what? He didn't take any loss. He just took any loss, bro. He's still undefeated. So I don't know what you mean by taking loss. So we just spoke to our brother at the one. Yeah, Babbage is still undefeated, right? I mean, the guy don't lose. No, never. He's not lost now. Babbage is still undefeated. Yeah. Yeah, unbiased heavyweight ranking. Anu says he been tested versus Forest. So he was tested positive for banned substance. Or what? I didn't hear about that. How come I didn't hear about that? Jerry Forrest. Tested positive. So Franklin has been on the juice or what? Man, boxing out is crazy. I didn't even hear anything about it. Maybe because I'm not really paying attention to his career like that because he's not active like that. The guy just, even though he has 21 fights, he should be more active. Imagine he only fought once in 2022. Yes, one he's fought once in 2022 so far, and the next fight is against Dillian Whyte. Before that, the last time he fought was 2019. Maybe after he got busted for drugs, something like that. Then he was given man, boxing is just crazy. Clement, what is wrong? What is wrong with fighters nowadays taking a lot of
But if you ask me that question, I don't know. I'm gonna ask, man. I told you, I keep saying it. We live in a world that is full of hypocrisy. Everybody is trying to be politically correct. People find out to say the truth. I keep saying it. 98% of these fighters are all on the juice. Whether anybody like it or not, I don't care. So it's a question of how good you are in cycling out the juice in you. So why just don't make all these things legal and they should do what they have to do? Because if I'm fighting you on the other side and I'm not on the juice, I don't know what you are doing, what your management team is doing. I'll be putting my life in risk. So the fact that you are not even sure whether your opponent is on the juice or not is something that makes boxing all the more risky. Just imagine Jerry Miller having the whole pharmacy in his system. Just imagine him going to fight Joshua. You know the kind of damage you will have inflicted on him. And he has fought so many people. And he has won. I'm sure he was on the juice until they caught him. And so many Sponge. There are just too many to mention, man. Even the greatest of heavyweight that they call him now, Tyson Fury. These are all juiced. They're all useless people.
The Conor situation. Like, how do you think the matter should be dealt with?
What you said?
The Conor Ben, situation.
Man, I even learned that guy tested for some juice even earlier, even before this one. Man. These guys are funny. They are funny. How do you deal with that kind of situation? That to follow the rules, follow what is in the book. If you have to serve his time, let him serve his time, and hopefully he comes back a clean fighter. It's either the only way to deal with that situation is either to legalize PEDs in boxing or to follow stricter rules. But rules are made by human beings too. Human beings are not perfect, so some people will always escape that testing.
Is that the reason why, like, the boxing is going to be stripped off at Olympics, the Olympic Games? You think that's one of the reasons? Because of, let's say, that the judges there, sometimes some of them are bribed. You remember, like, the victory of Tony Yoka, clocking gold over our brother Joe Joyce. We know what there was a robbery there, bro. So, what do you want to take on, like, boxing
Are
possible
you
chemistry?
saying that Tony Yoka was on the juice when he beat Joe Joyce? I don't get it.
Bro, it looks like, bro. It looks like. It was caught before as well, right?
Ah, man.
It
Can
was
I
sus-
can I can I dispute what you are
it was
saying?
suspended in France. Yeah,
Well,
by the French organization.
it's a question of who 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 is good at concealing his own PEDs at the end of the day. So, ah, scrapping boxing from the Olympics. I I don't know. Did they give any reason why they want to do that?
No, not an actual reason, but we all know the reason why,
You
right?
know, some in some countries boxing is not allowed. It's a banned sport. It might be because it's more like a violent sport. It might be for many reasons. It might be because it doesn't have a clear and fair scoring system. Whenever you watch most boxing matches that go into a 12 round, that goes the full distance, many people will always have an opinion about who won the fights. If you agree with me, except in cases of one-sided beatdown. So to that extent, I don't think the box. Some people prefer the aggressor in the fight. Some people prefer the guy that landed more points, the point scoring system. So that might be a reason why they don't want to allow it, because maybe they think there are no fair scoring standards. It might also be because they feel that they don't want to peddle or propagate the violence which is what represents. It might be for a whole lot of reasons, or a combination, for one reason or a combination of reasons. But no matter how you look at it, back to what we are saying, PDs, drugs in boxing is something we cannot rule out, whether we like it or not, whether we trying to pretend about it or not. We can't rule it out, and then because we can't rule it out, we just hope, right? And pray everything goes well, and these guys give us their best. But it's so bad that you'll be fighting someone who is on drugs, and you're not on drugs. Because if you're both on drugs, you make it more of an even fight, right? So if one guy is on drugs and the other one is not on, it's not on the same thing. It's like, man, it looks like more like a lot, like robbery, and that's why I don't really believe this happy by Tyson Fury and his perceived greatness or whatever. Because this guy has tested positive. I believe he's still on the juice. He supports it. He's one of the advocates for legalizing drugs in boxing. So, well, it is what it is. It's a dirty sport. What are we gonna do? Provided we are getting entertained. You know what I mean?
Man, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. But we'll see what happens. Well, the Chisora Fury, what the ticket update? Do you know what would the ticket update of the situation?
Lots of people are saying it's a useless fight. Other people,
Is it a sold out fight?
I don't think so. Sold out. I don't. It's not
Because
sold out.
Chisora called he called Eddie Hearn, during the press conference, say that Eddie Hearn can sell the fight.
My brother, we should not deceive ourselves. I don't know how they want to set that fight out. I don't know how many people believe, because selling out a fight is not either just, just want to sell tickets. It has to do with fans' interest, right? And that's why we can sit back here and say, oh, Joshua Wilder will do more tickets than Fury Usyk, because sometimes it's not about the belt; it's about the commercial viability of the fight, the competitive nature. Look at Wilder Illinius. Atlanta did 77,000 pay per view. That just shows you how much of. So when some of us sit here and say that, oh, Some fights are more like bomb fighting. They say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Everything is reflected in the ticket sales. When you see, look at the ticket sale for Fury and Wilder. It wasn't the highest, but it was good, right? Because people believe that, oh, this is a competitive fight. We want to see. It's intriguing. You know, we don't know the outcome. Wilder can knock this guy out with one punch, and this guy might take him out of there. So it's you don't set ticket automatically because unless you are an Anthony Joshua in the earlier part of his uh, of his career, which I believe he can still replicate now if he had like two or more wins under his belt. Joshua was able to sell tickets regardless of who he's fighting or who he was fighting. Look at his the tickets he sold against Carlos Takan. Carlos Takan is a good fighter, but he's not a great fighter. But he was able to have good ticket sales. The same thing with Dominic Brazil, the same, But for other fights, for most of these fighters, you have to fight a good opposition for you to sell tickets. Would they sell at Tottenham Hotspur? I don't think so. But I wish them all the best because, yeah, like we say, they are professionals. They are fighting, trying to make the money. They're making good money anyways. These guys are making, I believe they're even making too much money than they deserve. But it's good for them. I hope they sell just enough tickets to pay their bills and to pay whatever they need to pay off. You know, but it's a fight I feel to me decided. Chisora is not winning this fight. If he wins it, it's going to be an upset. I'll be very surprised. So I don't see him winning the fight. So I don't know. I don't know if personally I want to go and pay for a one-sided fight. You know.
Yeah, man. So anyway,
What do you
guys.
talk about?
Hey, can you go for now?
I did, man. What's up, man?
Man, cool. We're live. We're talking about
This Kedejuku never come. When did guy come live last?
When waiting?
When you come live last? I don't even remember when you come live.
May I ask a question, brother? I beg. People they watch.
Wait.
Kedejuku, what's your
Yeah,
take
what's up?
on Deontay Wilder wanting to fight Anthony Joshua in Africa? He wants to fight him in Africa.
Well, you find a promoter. They already have a promoter. I know that both parties.
For
have been
you,
talking to.
will it be just another fight or will it be historic?
It will be historic. There's no how it will be historic. It will be super historic. The event leading up there, yeah, dude, it's going to be historic. I mean, you think about it. No, even when
Clement is saying that he just for him is a normal fight. Anyway, a normal
it's
fight.
not,
Any
it's
other
not going
fight.
to be a normal fight. When they try to bring
No, I'm not.
heavyweight-
I'm not saying. Let me quickly correct you. I didn't say
Uh-huh.
it's a normal fight. It's a good fight. Whether wasn't talking about Africa. When he sent his 24 hours offer, he wasn't mentioning Africa. He just started mentioning Africa. So we should not pretend like it's a fight they've been shouting that happened in Africa before. I'm saying anywhere you out that fight, it's
Bro,
gonna
you
be
said
a
it's a
fight.
normal fight. You say it's not special, bro. Come on, what are you saying? You said just another
I
fight.
said I don't really care where the fight happened. I never said anything about it.
Well,
being
where
special. I
that, you
said
don't, that bro, that is basically
you can.
say. Anyway,
No.
continue.
I said it's all about them fighting. I want to see the fight.
yeah,
I'm not
but
really interested in where it happens. I didn't say it's so
I,
special.
I think it's
Bro,
I think it's,
I asked you if for you what it means for you. You said it's just another fight.
Yeah, no, I said why that Joshua is a fighter everybody want to see, and that fight is going to do more pay-per-view, in my opinion, than Fury and Usyk. When you asked me the question, that's what I said. And then you mentioned Ali and Fraser. I said those were two African Americans going back memory lane or history lane, going to their ancestry to fight. So they are saying we are actually Africans living in America. So it's like we are going to fight in our own mother's land. For Joshua Wilder, we never had discussion about whether it be in Africa or not. And I personally, like I said, I don't really care about where that fight happened. I said wherever it happens, it's going to be great. It's going to do a lot of ticket sales. But am I really interested whether it's going to be in Africa or not. I'm not. And everybody have their own opinion. Everybody might say, "Oh, it's made, is historical or whatever," and they're going to be correct to say that because it's what you feel. I believe I just want to see a good fight. That's what I want to see. That you know, I'm not,
No
that's
problem. No problem. Yeah, Kelechi come in, bro.
Dude, it's going to be. I mean, me that I've been all around Africa, been to certain parts of Europe and this thing. So I see things from every side of this perspective. Think about the 2 weeks. See, the thing that Hazim Rahman won't tell you is that he made more money in 1 week being in South Africa back then than he did anytime he was in the US. See, when you come for a week in all these African, especially these African countries and Asian countries, oh boy, the amount of charity work, club appearances and everything, you can make so much money. It's going to be historical. As in, let them come and do that thing. They can come to Lagos, do it in chaos in Lagos. They can go to South Africa. If the Deontay arrives or AJ arrives 2 weeks before, guy, the amount of money those guys are going to rake in, they're going to easily rake in almost up to $1 million each, as in for appearances, for different things that they will do to promote the fight before even the fight. This thing, you know, the reason why Leonard Stories was able to promote that fight against Rahman was that he was filming that he was doing a film shoot. So he came in a couple of days before the fight, and that's why that fight never opened up. The Rahman Lewis never opened up in Africa, opened up in South Africa like he was meant to, you know. So this fight, if they promote it well, when Deontay went for his retreat against the first loss against Fury, Fury Wilder 2, he went to South Africa and he said that was one of the most peaceful distance that he has had. And everybody that goes to that Cape Town, especially Cape Town, Durban area of South Africa, forget about me. I trained there for my mixology, so I know that area well. Especially Cape Town, it is so serene. You know, you just get to fall in love with it.
Bro, who told you it's going to be South Africa, bro? We want it in Nigeria.
No. I'm just saying if. You know, I added if. I said if.
It's only saying if it happens in South Africa.
If it happens.
If I may add, I might be wrong, but if I may add this, right? Is boxing is hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm listening.
Okay. So is boxing so widely accepted in Africa, Nigeria?
Oh yeah.
The same way it is in America and
more
and the UK.
Yes. They have.
Whenever I'm in Nigeria, I don't hear people talk about boxing.
No. It depends on where. In Ghana, in Ghana and in South Africa. In South Africa, they have something called Celebrity Boxing Tournament, hosted by one of the biggest South African hip hop acts. Raymond, you know him. It's called Caspar Vest. It's hosted by him. It's one of the biggest boxing attractions in South Africa. Look at the amount of Kevin Larena is boxing under the on the Chisora this thing on that card. Why do you think? Because it's not because Kevin Arena is a this thing. It's because they know that fanfare from South Africa comes. South Africa and Ghana, the boxing warfare is crazy. That boxing culture from South Africa. Yes, Nigeria is very, very, very football centric. But if you look at it holistically, you have to say South Africa and Ghana if you want to play your cards right. South Africa and Ghana is another thing entirely in terms of boxing. They will fill out any arena. They will pay like you guys in the States now. Let's say
can somebody buy a ticket for an average person? Which we know is
dude,
because when we start
dude, if the cheapest tickets are $1,500, the cheapest tickets, the nosebleed tickets, that place will be sold out.
No, I don't think it's going to be up to 1,500. Is not small money for. It's only the
going to be.
politicians that will come.
Yeah, do you know how much the
That will come
tickets
and
were
watch that
costing
fight.
for? Do you know how much the tickets were costing for Rackman Lewis? And that place was sold out.
$1,500 today is about, you are talking of over 1 million.
The
And how
guy,
many people buy that ticket?
guy, this is, you don't understand. See, Raymond is into sports and entertainment. He will tell you how much these guys charge for, these musicians charge in Lagos in a December for their music tickets. Their tickets go way higher than any ticket in the States, and those guys will be sold out. All those Davido, Wizkid, the Gorrman, all of them will be sold out. When those guys want to see, when we want to see something in Africa, we'll see something. Trust
I
me.
went for Deontay Whyte. Realistically, I know that there will be tickets for. When I went for Whyte Fury 1, it was in LA, and it was like, I think I bought a ticket. Me and my wife, it was about almost $400.
Yeah.
Which I know, of course. No, if a ticket is selling for $1,500, most people won't buy it. Because who has that money? People don't have that money. So I wouldn't need that money in a year. So, but let's say that ticket is going for $200, right? Which is about $150K.
Yeah.
It all depends, though, how much you love boxing.
People will buy. Clement, I am telling you, Africans, if you bring something foreign to an African soil, they will buy. They will buy. Hi, man, Clement, you don't know our people. Our people no go get money for rent. They go buy money for whiskey tickets. They will get whiskey. They won't pay rent. Your rent is $500K. You go and buy whiskey ticket for 1.5.
So it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm just looking at this commercially. I'm just trying to, like, when it comes to money making.
So they'll probably do
money?
They'll probably do
because
what
in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, I'm not gonna say in Saudi Arabia. Why they go to Saudi Arabia? It's not because they have a big stadium. They have a lot of people coming to watch the fight.
Mm-hmm.
They go there because there are people that are ready to make money available to host that fight. So I'm just thinking that will be the same thing that they will need to do to make such a fight happen, be it in Nigeria. I don't know South Africa.
I think they already have it. I think they already have a promoter. I think especially Deontay already has a promoter in South Africa, because the way he was talking about that African, he already has a promoter, and he said it after that he's going to Africa. He already has somebody. There's a marketing firm. I know there's a marketing firm. I've been in touch with them I've been in touch with them in Instagram. I'm trying to send the link to Raymond. When Deontay was going for that his trip to South Africa, I asked the owner of that marketing firm, is he coming to Lagos or Ghana? He said no, it's only South Africa that the guy is coming to. And then he ended the Instagram conversation with the DM. He has somebody that's representing him marketing wise in South Africa. So if he has somebody that's marketing him wise, he feels that there's a fight for him in South Africa. He doesn't have anybody representing him in Lagos here, in Lagos, but he has somebody representing. He definitely has somebody representing him in South Africa. So I'm sure Anthony Joshua has people representing him in. They are going to do something down the line. Let's just hope and pray that nobody gets in the middle of it. But it's going to be historical from all facets. It's going to be historical. Let's just wait and let it play out. But trust me, it's not going to be as long as this Errol Spence Bud Crawford fight. Trust me, that never is going to ever get made. It's going to be historical from all aspects. That's what I see.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Like me, it's a fight everybody wants to see. I believe Joshua has to take 1 or 2 more fights to build himself more psychologically, mentally, before he gets to the ring with Whyte, But I may be wrong. I'm not. Nobody's in anybody's head. You can think whatever you want to think, but the game, win, lose,
Yeah,
or draw, that's going to be the fight.
let's see what will happen. I mean, the undercard is the. I just think the undercard is the main issue. Where you see Lawrence Okoli now wanting to leave the zone and matchroom, and he doesn't. I don't know whether he's going to leave 258 management for boxer. So until that situation develops, because if Lawrence was still with AJ in 258, then I'll say definitely they are doing it together. But now that Lawrence wants to leave to a boxer,
Why
it's
does Lawrence
it's
want to do that though? Because it's funny how Joshua is the one that actually, I don't know,
yeah,
like he
but
gave Lawrence Okoli the platform to even like. Anyways, one of those things that happen.
yeah, but the thing is that Lawrence says he wants to unify. That Eddie is giving everybody a chance to unify. But why don't you want to give me a chance to unify? Brady's came. Eddie couldn't lock down a deal with British. Okay, lock down a deal with lockdown. He couldn't lock down a deal with British. Couldn't lock down a deal with any other cruiserweight champion. And he's tired of carrying that belt for 2 years. Cruiserweight is not money compared to heavyweight. Even Kevin Larena, who is a glorified cruiserweight, makes more money than Lawrence Okoli. So it's like he wants to make money. He wants to be known. He can't be known in that cruiserweight if he's not going to unify. So that is why he wants to leave. He's tired of being second fiddle and doing all these club shows. He wants to actually gain notoriety and gain more money.
So Eddie Hearn is not trying to make things happen for Okoli or what? He made him a
said
world champion, bro.
he's not trying. That he asked for that Brady's fight. He asked for Brady's fight. He's asked for multiple fights. But another thing that Eddie Hearn, I think, is watching is that he knows that Lawrence Okoli is not like 100% the polished article. So he doesn't want to put him inside there with a cruiser. Because see, there are cruiserweight killers. Like that guy that Dottie Coast. That guy is a cruiserweight killer. That guy he doesn't play games and he's highly skilled. He doesn't want to do that thing of he puts him. Because think about the amount of fights that Eddie has gone through. Gaia, he's lost so many people have lost their titles. The female girl that Baumgartner beat, Terry Harper. So many people have lost their battle because they were all pressing him that they wanted step up fights. They wanted real step up fights, real challenges. But the thing is that when you get real challenges and you lose, to build you up is extremely, extremely hard. So it's that kind of thing that, listen, if you fight any of the champions, you're going to lose. No, give me the champions. You don't want to give me the park champions. I'm going to boxer. But the problem is that Lawrence goes to boxer, they're going to put him against Riapo immediately. Your WBO title versus Riapo. And I don't know, toss up between now Raymond, you don't watch them fight before. Who go win? Riapo or Okoli?
Bro, it'll be 55, bro. 50.
So that's the thing. Lawrence, we need to sort out a lot of things.
Riakpo had the chance to fight Lawrence Okoli. He didn't want to fight him.
Exactly, but this is now.
I think boxer might be offering. So there's a money that maybe their money because for Clarissa, she's to agree to fight Savannah Marshall in the UK. But the money must be.
They made six times the amount of money with that event.
Really?
They made more than 6 times the amount of money. The amount of money that they made, especially it wasn't even Clarissa, the undercard, Alicia and that girl. If 2 of them should fight again, each of them is guaranteed. Each of them should be for 5 mil.
Michaela Meyer.
Meyer and her, oh my God. Jesus Christ. Meyer and Bob Gardner, hey, those girls, they don't know what they have done for female boxing. Oh my God. If I was those girls, I'll fight each other like how Tyson Fury and Deontay while they're fighting each other. They'll just be making money. They will be making money because they don't like each other. One is doing poor black girl, the other one is doing rich white girl, but are more skilled than you. Those different things, they will make so much money among themselves.
Interesting.
Man, if you look at the dynamics of how the spike went up when Baumgartner wanted to fight each other, Hey, Jesus Christ. Those girls don't know what they have done.
Very interesting, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, make I let you be for now,
All
guys.
right. All
We've
right.
heard
No
it
problem.
from our brother Kenichuko. Get back to you guys
I,
very soon. Big up station of you. And of course, we're gonna talk about JoJo's. It's back, but we'll do that tomorrow. Because to you guys, bro. God bless you. Cheers.